And we are live. Apa khabar semua orang?
Hey, how are you?
Okay lah. It's us again trying to help you with any financial questions you got.
Yep. Okay.
But suddenly my thing mengada. Okay, anyway, so there you go. So guys, once again, remember if you're watching this, if you got any questions, any financial questions, just put it in the comments. We'll try our best to answer it. For those of you first time watching this, say hello to Rafiq. He's the professional. I am the financial whisperer. In other words, I try to translate what he's talking about to layman's terms so that kita semua boleh faham. Because how we met is you got to go through my timeline on my social media. You'll see how we met. But as usual, we've got to discuss any financial questions when it comes to your personal finance or anything. Then you can help us out lah. So anyway, any updates when it comes to the financial world? Honestly, was because the last time we were talking about was the EPF. Then we're talking about the budget, and most Malaysians, me included, don't actually pay attention.
Yeah.
So we wait for moments like this for the people who pay attention to tell us. So what's new? Is there anything new?
Okay, so basically, I think one of the things that we talked about last time was the iSina initiative for EPF members.
Correct.
Okay, so so right now the applications will begin 21st of December 2020.
Okay.
Okay, and I think EPF has also announced the criteria and details for the facility, which is now open up to 8 million eligible members.
Okay. How do you know if you're an eligible member or not?
Okay, so basically, this is directly from the EPF website. So eligible members, there's two main categories. So one is those that are working in the formal sectors, self-employed workers, and workers in the gig economy who have not contributed to EPF for a period of time, have lost their jobs, housewife, or given no pay leave. So this group of people basically either they have not contributed to EPF for at least 2 consecutive months on application, or they have suffered a reduction of their base salary by 30% and above from March 2020 onwards. So for this category, they actually do not need to provide supporting documents. Approval is automatic based on EPF internal data, and they just need to apply through the iSina portal starting 21st December 2020. Okay, so this is the first group. Okay, the second group is those, this is almost everybody else whose total income has been reduced by 30% and above. So total income includes base salary and other benefits such as allowances and overtime from 1st March 2020 onwards. But this one, they actually have to be verified with supporting documents. So they need to show like things like, so salary slip before and after reduction of income, or an employer's notice of suspension or reduction of allowances and overtime claims. So they have to put in the application, still online, but they will only start applying 11 January 2021. So they'll be applying slightly later. So the group one applies earlier. So they apply 21st December. The second group actually applies 11 January 2021.
Here's the thing. I see a group 3 that has not been mentioned. Orang yang tak ada kerja tapi ada duit kat dalam EPF.
Actually, orang yang tak ada kerja, orang yang tak ada kerja.
Say tak ada kerja, say they have not been employed since COVID happened. So this is more than 2 months. So there's no contribution at all for 2 months.
So
then
because they say at least 2 months. So means that if you have not contributed a longer time, this is my understanding of it. So you would actually fall under category 1.
Oh, okay. So the people who tak contribute for a long time, you are category 1 lah. Okay. Faham. Because when you said 2 months, I'm like, alamak, what about the people who tak dapat gaji 3 months? So the minimum amount is 2 months.
Yes.
And what's the maximum amount they can take out?
Okay, so this depends on how much you have in your account one.
Correct.
Okay, so if you have below 100,000 in your account one, you can withdraw only maximum 10,000.
Okay.
So the payments would start off with the first month at 5,000, then you will receive 1,000 each month.
Fair enough.
Okay. So for those that have more money in their account one, so more than 100,000, they can withdraw a maximum of 10% of their account one savings
Right.
up to 60,000, whichever is lower.
Whichever is lower lah. So
Correct.
up to 60,000. In other words, your account one must have 600,000 lah.
Yes.
That's 10% lah. That's anything above 600,000. First of all, well done. Secondly, you only can get up to 60,000. Okay, fair enough. So the 60,000 will be broken up in the same way, as in
Yes. So the first one will be 10,000. Then the subsequent months will be 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 until you fully utilize the 60K.
Yo, it's a lot of money. And okay. It's
Yeah,
to know.
but there's a logic in it lah. So actually, if let's say you mentioned, okay, congrats to people who have 600,000, right? So this kind of people, so their income level will be higher. Their income level will be higher. So generally, based on my experience, Malaysians in general, when your income is higher, your expenses are also higher.
All right.
Your commitments are also higher. So 10,000 seems to be a lot for a group of people, but for those that are earning 5 figures and above, 10,000 is actually not that big of an amount.
Right. Okay.
In order for them to maintain their commitments and their daily expenses. Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Here's a random question. We're still waiting, lah, guys. If you're watching this, if you got any questions, please put it down in the comments. Okay. As usual, y'all lalu shy. Wait for me to ask all the questions. Naughty people. But anyway, so here's the question. You know, people who have ASB and all that.
Yep.
Okay. If they take up from account one and they want to invest in ASB, do you advise that or not?
Technically, there's no net. Technically, there's no net effect because you're talking about instrument financial accounts that gives you the same return profile. So
it's
ASB
the same.
Gives you about ASB gives you 5%, EPF gives you 5%. So
okay. I always thought like ASB dapat lebih. I don't know why in my mind.
Used to.
Oh, okay.
So used to. So there was a time where ASB gave about 12-14%.
Correct. That's what I remember.
But those are yesteryears. It hasn't been double digit returns for a long time already. And
so now you all know lah. Okay, see, like me, I was left behind in when it comes to all these terms and stuff like that. When it comes to financing,
although there's an although there. So because the thing is, okay, not sure whether I should say this, but there is one big difference between EPF and ASB.
Okay,
so if let's say you can take out the money and you leave it in, you don't take out and you leave it in EPF. So once this whole ICNA things finishes, so you cannot access it anymore. Whereas if you take it out and put it in your ASB as your emergency savings, you might not need it now, but you can access it in the future.
Correct. So in other words, you're not doing anything to your future savings, but you're allowing yourself a parachute for a rainy day.
Correct.
See, that's why you talk to financial people. People like us will not know good ke tak. Only we think like you get more interest aja ke tak. So that is an option. What if that's for people who can have ASB? What would you advise? I'm not saying do it. All right, I'm not saying do it, but I'm saying if someone who cannot access ASB and would like to have that option in their hand just in case of a rainy day, where would you advise them to no, I'm not saying you are telling people to do this lah, okay? Where would you advise them to invest their money to keep for a rainy day?
Okay, this is going to be a bit hard because the only reason why I mentioned the situation just now is because ASB is special.
Correct. Agreed. No, agreed.
ASB is special.
I
Okay.
agree.
So because ASB to me is a high yield savings account to some extent, because you can get 5% and above returns,
Correct.
but there is no risk to your capital.
Okay.
Because it's a fixed type unit trust. It's a fixed price unit trust. So
Right.
so you put 5,000 capital will
Always
be
be
there.
there. Yeah.
Always be there. Then you just earn through dividends. So
Correct.
adding on to your investments. Whereas most other instruments available do not have that same profile.
Right.
So even if let's say we don't take ASB, so we take something like Tabung Haji. So Tabung Haji is still a high yielding savings account to me, but the return profile is lower.
Right. Okay.
What you can get from that? So basically, you're taking out from EPF, which is giving around five something percent now, to Tabung Haji that's giving about 3%.
Right.
Okay, so
Okay.
you gain the flexibility, but then you lose about the 2% per year. So
Understand.
then the point you're making earlier about not affecting your future retirement
It's yeah.
scenario, so it will then affect. So that's scenario one. Two, actually, I think one of the deputy governors in Bank Negara actually made a statement today
Right.
with regards to basically informing people don't fall to scams and don't follow the advice of investment gurus or sifus or whatever that is asking you to take out the money from ISINA and put it in high risk investments so that you can get better returns.
That's asking for trouble. I'm talking about stuff like because we all don't know what's coming. We all can assume what's coming. We are going to assume everything is okay. Of course, everybody is hoping, but ISINA is only here for this short period of time. We don't know what's happening in the future. We would love to have that parachute just in case anything. Would you recommend? Not recommend. Would you say it's okay? Not that you lose a lot. Neither would you gain a lot if you take it out and put it into stuff like fixed deposit and stuff like that.
Okay, so if you're going to do that purely for the flexibility in terms of emergency savings and
Yep.
as long as you then understand what is the implication of doing so.
Right.
So I'm not sure whether this is something that an individual without understanding of their whole financial situation should make on their own.
Correct. Agreed. No, agreed. I 100%
Yeah.
agree on that. So for me, if this is my understanding, this is not from a professional, this is not Rafiq saying, this is me saying, I'm saying if you have the opportunity to use ISINA, don't take a big lump. Think when you talk about rainy day, you're not asking for 10,000 for a rainy day. If you're talking about rainy day, if 3,000 can you can survive on 3,000 for at least 1.5 months. So rainy days should only last 1.5 months lah. That is my understanding of a rainy day. So if you can take out that little just to put aside just in case of a rainy day, I think you won't make money out. Don't think that money you're taking out to make money lah. It's just parachute tu je. Because I don't know where else can someone get a parachute, especially in this time and day and age.
Yeah, actually true, because actually that's interesting, because most of the questions that I get asked with regards to ISINA is, if I take out the money, where do I put it?
Everybody wants to know, right?
Can I make more money?
Oh, okay.
That is without fail the question that I get asked most with regards to this ISINA withdrawal.
But it's the most dangerous question. That question indicates that you don't need the money, but you want the money because you want to grow, konon grow lah. But with anything, there's a risk factor to it. So there's no guarantees like EPF and stuff like that. That one, at least you're safe.
Yeah. So generally, I don't answer.
Yeah. But my
Because
questioning, okay. I wasn't putting you in a spot to make money. It was more of a parachute just in case. Because
yeah, so
I know a lot of people who are in an okay position, but are not sure what's going to happen in 2 months.
yeah,
So
anything
they're
can
like,
happen.
exactly. So they're like, what do I do? What do I do? Okay, fine. Cool. So at least thank you for that advice.
No
Once
problem.
again, if you're watching this, if anybody got any questions, don't be shy lah. There's no wrong questions. I keep telling this. There's no wrong questions, only questions you never ask. And then you don't have the answer, and then you Google, then you get the wrong answer, and then you're in trouble. So stop doing that. Okay. This year is about to end. 2020, oh my God. That's all I can say. Okay. So, but 2020 also is taxable, right?
Yes.
What kind of receipts and things should we keep for next year, April, to fill up all the forms and stuff like that?
Yeah. So
What are the
2020.
things? Yeah, what are the things 2020 has provided? I mean, in the budget already that we should keep and bring forward. Because if I'm not mistaken, I saw somebody put up a post about computers and 2,500 ringgit.
I wonder who. I wonder who.
So I'm like, oh, really? What else is there? What other benefits are there?
Okay, so there is actually a lot of tax reliefs
Yeah.
that Malaysian resident can claim.
Okay.
Okay, can claim. Okay, so some standard ones is obviously if you are contributing to EPF, so you can claim up to 4K a year. You can claim up to 4K a year. So
Yep.
for those that are paying the salary, then it's okay because it's going to be reflected in your CP58 that is submitted to LSTN already. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to get any receipts. But for those that are contributing on their own, so
Right.
then you just keep your contribution slips to EPF as
Okay.
your proof.
Yep.
Okay. So then for parents with child 2 years and below.
Okay.
But this is specific for women taxpayers only. Once every 2 years, you can claim 1,000 ringgit tax relief for breastfeeding equipment.
Okay.
So if you just gave birth and there's a lot of MCO babies coming along.
Betul?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I foresee. Yes.
Yeah, so coming along because not a lot of things to do during during MCO.
So December got a lot of babies coming. Yes, correct.
Yeah, probably. So
That, you can claim that.
you can claim that. You
All
can
right.
claim that. Okay. Childcare fees.
Okay.
If you had sent your child to registered childcare centers or
Right.
kindergartens, but this is
Right.
only for 6 years and below. So you
Okay.
can claim up to 3K per year.
Okay. Wow.
So keep the receipt.
Do you know how many people are now like, oh, you can, okay, write down. Because a lot of people don't know this, Everybody,
Yep.
when it comes to filling up taxes, they take that form, they fill up, and then they send it in because they don't want to think what else they can, the tax relief. But the truth is, the government put in a lot into your tax relief so that if you're one of those paying contributors every month, that's the one they pay you back. So, the income tax, bagi you do it because of all this tax relief. So it's very important to take note. So, okay, now we've got that. We got that. Anything else?
Oh, there's still quite a few.
Quite a few.
Actually.
Let's
Yeah.
go through. Because you know what? I don't want people to do. I don't want people to. I hate 2020 crush some receipts and buang.
Oh,
And then
you shouldn't do that.
I know, but trust me, ada orang, ada orang. So now I want to tell people which receipts you keep, which receipts you throw away. Because, spring cleaning is coming. I bet you New Year, January 2nd, people going to spring clear the cupboard lah, drawer lah, whatever. I don't want them to throw the wrong things away. So what else can they keep?
Actually, your life insurance premiums.
Yep. Isn't
So
that in
life
the same place as EPF?
Used to be.
Oh, it's no
So
longer in the same place.
So it's actually separated for people who contribute to EPF. It's actually
Ah.
separated. So it's 4,000 EPF, 3,000 life insurance. However, if you don't contribute to EPF, which is for the public servants who
Yeah.
are on the pension scheme, so they can claim the whole 7,000 under life insurance premium.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they don't contribute to EPF, so they can claim the life insurance premium up to 7K.
Okay. Okay. So I didn't know it was separated. At least now I know. Very good.
Yeah.
And I never knew that you can do the 7,000. I thought EPF is EPF. Okay, cool. More information.
Yeah.
Bagus. Anything else?
Actually, if your parents are still around, so
Yep.
any medical expenses, so treatment, special needs for your parents,
Yep.
both parents combined is 5,000.
Serious?
Mm. So
That's a
keep the
lot.
receipts.
Uh,
Especially our parents' generation, right? Most of them don't
correct.
have medical insurance.
Correct. They don't. They don't.
Most of them don't have medical insurance, so you should keep the receipts. Not
So
only you'll be a good son or daughter, but you will also get some money back from the government.
bagus. Yeah. So you get it's a pat on the back for being anak mitali. Okay.
Yeah.
What else? What else can you claim?
Okay, so the next one is actually one of those that most people actually miss out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are still confused about it, which is the private retirement scheme or PRS.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
also am confused about that.
yeah. So because private retirement scheme is a voluntary scheme that was launched quite a time back,
Right.
and it was so in order to drum up interest in the scheme. So the government has allowed a 3,000 per year tax relief incentive for those that put their hard-earned money into the any approved private retirement scheme.
Okay. What's the difference between private retirement scheme and EPF?
EPF is mandatory.
Oh,
PRS is voluntary.
okay, okay, okay. So, but it's the same thing, lah, more or less.
The end goal is the same. The end goal
Right.
is for retirement.
Right.
The end goal is for retirement. It's just that for PRS, if you don't do it, you don't get tax relief. That's it, and you're not saving your money. In EPF, if you don't do it, then you can actually get fined.
Okay. Who does PRS? I mean, because it's private.
Yeah. So private retirement schemes are actually there are providers that is managed by the Public Pension Administrator,
Right.
PPA.
Okay.
So there's actually I can't remember the number of providers. Some of it are insurance and takaful companies. Some of it are unit trust companies.
Oh,
So they have their own approved private retirement schemes in which you can go and purchase it or invest, and
right.
then you will get a statement. And with the statement, you keep for your tax relief purposes.
I never knew that. Okay, cool. I learned something new again. Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So next is the education and or medical insurance premiums. So
Okay.
this is another 3,000.
So just now was live, is it?
Just
What
now
was
was
the
live.
just now
Just
was
now was
live?
live. Yeah.
Now
So now it's
medical
education and
education.
or medical insurance.
Oh, okay, okay. I see the difference. All right.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So there's also tax relief for a full medical checkup up to 500 ringgit per year.
I didn't know that. I should have gone for a full medical.
Yeah. I remember doing it like a few years back.
Right.
So usually at the end of the year, if you try to go at the end of the year, actually there's going to be a long line.
Yeah, because everyone realized like, okay, boleh buat. Do it at
Correct.
the beginning of the year. Keep the receipt.
Correct. But the thing is, the receipt actually. So what all these medical checkup places do? So the receipt is actually end before the end of the year. But
Oh, okay.
the medical checkup itself is
Schedule for January and
scheduled January
February.
of, yeah.
Paham. Okay, but no, fair enough.
So that was what happened for me and my wife
Okay.
a few years back.
It's okay. At least now people know you can go and you get 500 ringgit relief. That's a lot of money also. Because all these little things add up to tens of thousands, And if you don't take advantage of this, it's your money that you're not claiming. So that's why sometimes I tak faham why people don't do it. Last time I remember there was books as well. Is that still in?
So actually, they don't have a separate category for books anymore.
Okay.
So they actually group it under this category called lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay, because not everybody buy books or not everybody buy sports equipment.
Right.
Okay, so that everyone would utilize it. So they created this grouping called lifestyle with a maximum annual relief of 2,500. So this includes your reading materials. So reading materials here are books, magazines, newspapers. I think e-journals all are also, all included already. Then sports equipment, gym fees.
That's all inside the same place, lah.
All inside the same place. Your internet bill. So you unify, your Unify, your Maxis, TM, all that is part of lifestyle.
How much again?
2,500 per year.
What? You're joking?
Nope, I'm not.
Wait, that's sexy. I never added that. So, hey guys, you're watching us right through internet. Keep that. Okay, there's someone is in the chat is asking about charity.
Okay, so the tax relief for charity. Okay, so the tax relief for charity, is actually something that I don't do that much.
Right.
I don't do that much. So when you talk about aggregated income, so aggregated income is just
this is for company. It's not personal, right?
Actually, personal also okay, because there are people who have multiple sources of income. So you have income from salary, you have income from businesses, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So from all this income, you will actually calculate, okay, what is the net income that we combine into what we call aggregated income.
Okay.
So if let's say, okay, from your salary, you do the salary, the deduction. So basically, okay, it comes, okay, let's say 100,000. Then from your business, your gross profit, whatever, is let's say another 1,000. So once it gets to the aggregated income level, so now it's 200,000. So when you see 7% of aggregated income is that lah, 7% of 200,000.
Okay, understand.
So because if you want to talk about donations and everything, it's actually a topic on its own, because it's not. There are different segments under donation. So there are donations to charitable bodies. There's also donation to government institutions. There are donation to universities, libraries.
Right.
There's art-related donations. So like I said, it's a topic on its own.
Okay. Everybody, you see up there the hashtag at Wealth Vantage. Get in touch with them. Okay, if you want personal questions, go there, and I'm sure they can guide you and explain better. And you can engage them for a lot of other things. So go there and ask. But so okay, I give you this. When it comes to charity, on a side note, you've seen people walking around. Hey, donate to Magna or donate to this UNICEF or something like that, because it's tax relief at the end of the day. Is that actually tax relief? And
generally, yes. These organizations would have a tax exempt receipt, tax exempt status. So which then you can compile those receipts and deduct it from your.
What's the maximum?
Yeah, the 7%.
Wait,
7% of.
Oh, so your
aggregated income.
There's no fix how much percentage. It depends on your how much you earn. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because before this, there was a fixed number, right?
I can't remember those days, but since when I learned it, it was based on a percentage.
Okay, cool. Bagus. Now
so for personal, it's 7. If companies, it's 10%, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Okay, so we've got that. Anything else? Any like things that people have not paid attention to when it comes to tax relief and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Guys, remember, this is the receipts you keep for this year, so that when you file in April next year is for this year. Okay, it's not whatever we're teaching you next year lion, because that will be based on a different this year's budget. Correct, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
and stuff.
so yeah. So whatever that we're talking about is for year assessment 2020,
Yes. Okay.
which
Okay.
is April and June next year, depending on whether you are a salaried individual or do you also own a business. So
Okay.
the timing that you pay would be different. Okay, so there's
Right.
actually three. I would say three more things I want to share with regards to tax relief. So
Yeah.
one is for Skim Simpanan Pendidikan Nasional (SSPN).
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, this one is actually one of the higher tax relief limits. It's actually 8,000 per year.
Really?
Correct.
What is the scheme thing? I've seen the building, I've seen like the booths, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. So SSPN is actually so it's an agency or department under PTPTN.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was actually created in order to get parents to save for their children's
Children's
education.
education. Yep.
Okay, so that they will be less dependent on the student loans,
Okay.
especially
Understand.
the PTPTN loans lah.
Yep.
So and if I'm not mistaken, what happens is like if let's say you still need a loan, so you can basically they'll match to whatever savings that you have in SSPN.
Okay. So it's just money you're putting aside for the education of your kids.
Yeah, it's for the education. So, but in order to get parents to be incentivized, so then they say, okay, for parents who put this, we will give you tax relief. So it used to be 6,000, but
Now
they
it's
raise it
eight.
to now is 8. Okay, now is 8,000. So this is 8,000 per individual. So if let's say both husband and wife is working, so husband put 8,000, wife put 8,000. So then
Wow.
both of you get the relief lah.
So
If
you
only the husband put 8,000, then the wife doesn't get the relief.
okay. Wait,
Okay,
but if both of them put is like 16,000 lah. I mean
it's
like
16,000 lah.
okay.
Okay, but the thing is, okay, so under SSPN, there's actually two modes of contribution.
Right.
Okay, so one is lump sum type contributions, which is under the normal SSPN scheme.
Yeah.
There's also a SSPN plus scheme. So this is savings plus insurance or takaful.
Okay.
So it's a combined product. Okay. So both of them have their pros and cons.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if let's say you want the option to say, okay, I'm going to contribute small amounts, and if
Right.
anything were to happen to me, then SSPN would basically pay out the life coverage on myself, and then will fill up the SSPN account of my children. So then is the SSPN plus. Okay.
Okay.
So if anything were to happen while you're doing the monthly contributions and everything, then
Your kids'
your
education is
children,
covered.
your kids' education is covered. The only thing is that it's a fixed contribution. So means once you start, you have to continue
Forever.
doing it. Okay.
Right.
And okay. So versus the normal SSPN scheme, no takaful or insurance coverage.
Right.
No takaful. But you can actually use it as a savings account.
Is there interest to it? Does it
There
grow?
is. It's about 4 to 4.5% per annum. It has a tax relief of 8K per year, and you can take out the money if, let's say, you need it. So you can.
You know why I so jahat? I'm like, then the tech. Wait, how do you take out the money?
You can actually just withdraw it.
Like a normal withdrawal, there's no
Yep.
rules and regulation.
No. It's just that if let's say you were going to apply for the tax relief next year, so if let's say you take out 8,000, so for next year you actually have to put in 16,000, then only you get the tax relief for next year.
Oh, you cannot just put in, take out, put in, take out, put in, take out. Tak boleh lah.
They're not that stupid, huh?
I tanya je. Janganlah. I'm just asking. But 4 point something % is actually quite.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
Good percentage, and
Yeah.
it makes me go back to our first discussion today, which is from the EPF, and you want to put it somewhere where you can keep it safe. But technically, if you have kids and you want to worry about the education, that's a good place to put it to.
Yeah.
As a parachute place, but also it can help with your kids' education in the future. So for me, I don't think that's a bad thing. This is my opinion.
Possibly, possibly. You can explore that, but like I always say, the catch is basically if you don't understand what you're doing, please ask a licensed professional to basically advise, because we won't look at your financials in like silos. We will look it in the big picture. Then we'll advise you whether this makes sense or not.
Correct. No, I know what you're talking about, but it's good that you have options like that, because especially one of the things for parents is the worry of education for the kids in the future, whether they can afford it, how do we save money. I've heard of the scheme, but I never looked into it, so it's an interesting option. I didn't know it was it's a savings account that grows as well. So anyway, guys, if you've got any more questions, questions?
Just there's two more.
Of course, I'm reminding people. I know you're watching. We still got more texting, but we're not just talking about tax. If you got any financial questions, get in touch with us. Put it in the comment. We will answer your question. Okay, not only about tax, but about anything. But the two more.
Okay, so there's two more things. Okay, so it was actually announced during the incentives for COVID. Okay,
right.
That so it wasn't originally as part of the budget 2020.
Right. Okay.
So it wasn't announced. So and then this is actually one. This is the additional. So this is actually related to the purchase that I made earlier today, which is with regards to my PC. Okay.
I didn't say you. Okay, you know what?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not hiding anything from anyone. So I did put it on my Facebook page, which is public anyway.
Correct. So what is in this new COVID thing?
Okay, so there's two things. So one is additional 2,500 ringgit relief if for a purchase of PC, smartphone, or tablet. So, but the purchase, the purchase must happen between 1st of June 2020 to 31st of December 2020.
Wait, siapa nak beli iPhone 12 for me, please? I accept. Then you can take the receipt. I'm just joking. Cuba je lah, cuba. Tax relief. 2005. But then I know the iPhone 12 cost more. But never mind lah, you are a very generous person. You want to give me, I accept. Okay, what else?
Okay, so the second one is actually to spur the local tourism industry. So for domestic traveling, up to 1,000 ringgit for the year to cover either to claim for accommodation fees or entrance fees paid for tourist attractions.
What?
Yeah, so this is like I said, it's actually to help spur the local tourism industry that is reeling right now.
Could we? I'm so confused about the law when you travel and holiday and all that, so I don't know whether it can. But apparently, okay, currently it's just lifted, right?
Yeah, it's just lifted, but there were periods when we had the RMCO, so we could travel, and technically, I did travel during the RMCO.
Oh, okay. So
I fully utilized mine already, lah.
So if you travel within Malaysia or tourist attraction, like I go to the bird park here in KL and all that, that's everything included. How much is how much
is the relief? 1,000. 1,000.
That's a lot of money also. And at the same time, you get a free holiday. I mean, it's a
Not a free
holiday.
holiday lah.
Not free
It's a
holiday. I mean,
holiday lah.
you
Yeah.
paid for the holiday, but then
Then
a
the government
holiday,
gives you some money back.
that's what I wanted to say. I like it. I like it. In a way, it's a paid holiday. I want to look at it that way. It makes me feel happier.
The government subsidizes your holiday. I think that's the better word.
I never knew that. I don't think a lot of people know that, because you see, when like I said, when it comes to financial stuff, there's a lot of things put into place by the government and so many things, but you got to speak to people like him. You got to speak to people like him, because he is up to date. He knows what's going on about everything, and then he can give you all these advantages. If you tak tanya orang macam dia, then you ask people like me or Google, then you lose out, because that's a lot of money, man. What you've described itself was close to what? 30 something.
At least 50 actually. At least 50.
50,000 is a lot, you know.
Yeah. So let's put it in perspective lah. So if let's say you are being taxed at 14%.
Yep.
At a 14% tax rate, and you actually can claim up to the 50,000 tax relief.
Yep.
So that is about 7,000 ringgit that would be deducted from the tax bill.
So in other words, if you've been paying every month and you could get back 7,000.
You could get back 7,000. So if you are paying about 25%, so you will actually get back about 12,500.
Holy! Okay, guys. Remember about the iPhone 12? Kenalah cuba kan.
Cuba. Mana tahu rezeki.
Mana tahu rezeki dapat. Siapa nak beli iPhone 12 boleh, saya terima. So, okay. All right. So, okay. Now, when it comes to next year, this year is about to end. Yes, the vaccines are out. Yes, everything should change again, but it's not 100%. If you look at the projections when it comes to vaccine and everything going back to normal, you're talking about June onwards. The earlier part still, quarter 1, quarter 2 is still not 100% back to normal. So when it comes to financially, what do you advise people to do? I'm not saying tighten your belt. I'm not saying keep all your money, because if you keep all your money, the economy dies. If the economy dies, all of us die. So what's the best practice in your opinion?
I think, okay, so one thing that we always tell people to do at the end of the year is to prepare your budget for next year. That should be the first step.
Okay, correct.
Okay. There's a reason why companies do it.
Yes.
Okay.
They put it in by October.
Yeah. So it's also a good practice for individuals.
Right.
Okay. To prepare. Okay. So prepare a budget for next year and prepare for the whole 12 months. Don't prepare on, only for January. So you do December, you do January. Then January, you do February. It doesn't work that way. So you do it for the whole year, because while there are regular expenses that comes out on a monthly basis, but there are also expenses are not regular, that comes maybe once a quarter, once every 2 months, once every 6 months, once every year. Okay. And one of the issues when people don't do an annual budget is then they lose out on all these irregular expenses. And when the month comes when all these extra expenses come in, then they'll get caught with their pants down.
Correct.
Suddenly they have to spend more.
Right.
Have to spend more. So this is when you get into this whole debt trap. So you'll be using your credit cards.
And the worst thing is like, tak apa, don't worry. By the end of the month, I'll get something to pay up. Then it just bills and bills. Next thing you know, you got to go jumpa PK. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. So you start off with the budget. So then in the budget, you identify, okay, so this is what I need to spend to live. This is what I need to pay my commitments. This is how much I need to put aside for savings, for investments. This is how much I need to put aside for my insurance or takaful. This is how much I want to put aside for leisure.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
Plan the
even
whole
for your
year.
leisure, yeah, you should plan the whole year. You should
Yep,
plan
yep.
the whole year. You should at least, okay, let's say next year I'm planning to go traveling, let's say 3 or 4 times
Right.
next year, local. So then
Yep.
you can estimate, okay, for each, let's say, destination, I'm gonna put aside, say, 2,000. So then you put as part of your cost, okay, 2,000. So then you can come up with a plan how you're gonna save that 2,000 and whether your cash flow allows it. So technically, once you do the budget, so you need to make sure that one, the cash flow, there's no cash flow deficit. So means that there's no negative figures lah.
Correct. Correct.
Especially,
No.
especially the total budget. It cannot be
Correct. And
like countries where they have negative deficit budgets. It doesn't work that way.
no. Cannot. You cannot buy bonds. There's all those things. All tada 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 tada.
Tak ada.
Doesn't
No,
doesn't work.
no one wants to buy your bonds lah.
Yeah,
If
correct.
you to issue.
Nobody wants to buy your bonds. People like, oh, tada. It's all right. Tak kenal you. All right.
Yeah.
So
So when you do the budget, so then you will identify, okay, this is what I can afford.
right.
What
And
I
the
can afford.
crazy part, the crazy part also, it's going to be for a lot of people who uncertain where income is going to come. If you create your budget now, at least you know how much is the bare minimum you have to at least find a way to get.
Yes, correct.
Correct?
Yeah,
So,
correct.
okay. So, sit down malam ni, have a hard conversation with yourself and look how much you need to spend every month for the thing.
Yeah. So and this is what a lot of people fail to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but because when you have that budget and then okay, you now have a clearer picture in
Right.
terms of what you should be expecting the
Right.
whole of next year.
Right.
The whole the whole of next year.
Right.
That's background music.
It's okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so then as you rightly pointed out, then you know, okay, what is the minimum that I need to have?
Correct.
Okay, what's the minimum I have? And if let's say you then combine it, let's say, okay, you already have your emergency savings on the side. So you know, okay, with the emergency savings, if let's say something were to happen to my income,
Right.
combine that, what would then be the bare minimum that I need to live with?
Yeah, especially for gig economy people, or like if you're working like Grab or whatever like that, at least you'll know how much you need to hours you got to spend.
Yeah,
So
true.
it stops your headache lah. Kau tidak like this year, a lot of people weren't prepared and the headache goes crazy. But at least as we head towards something more normal, that could help it out, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So even like somebody like me,
Yeah.
I'm considered to be part of the gig economy because I don't earn a fixed salary.
Correct.
So my income is actually varies from month to month. So I actually have the same problems when I want to apply for financing from the banks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like even if let's say I'm not saying this is my income, even if let's say I was earning let's say 600,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll still be I'll actually be worse off compared to let's say somebody who's earning maybe 10,000 a month fixed salary.
Correct, because a fixed salary. This one we're gonna sidetrack a bit lah.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to open their own business because they want freedom to do what they want whenever they want. You have to realize once you go on your own, you give up the freedom of knowing that end of the month there's going to be money in the bank account. That freedom is gone. Please be sure you're very aware of that freedom of don't worry, we can spend because end of the month it's going to be filled up is gone until your business is reach a level where it's sustainable. Then you can have that freedom again, but for years you're not going to have that, so don't just like I don't want to work here already, I had enough of this. Then I'm just warning people. It's just a lot of young people don't realize that.
It actually took me 5 years to get to the salary that I was earning before.
But one thing you do get, you get free your own time. Freedom, you get
Yes,
suddenly
correct.
you got more time. So that is agreed. But you'll notice that you're spending all that time and there's no returns. So suddenly you're like, what am I doing wrong? But it's very stressful. If a fixed income is actually a very good thing because it helps you budget out easier.
Yes, that's true. So I do have both type of clients, salaried clients and also business owners, freelancers, gig economy clients. So sometimes when the business owners, freelancers come, the first question that they ask me, hey, can a financial planner help people like us manage our finances? The answer is yes.
Yes. Okay.
The answer is yes. So because we have our ways in terms of still structuring your finances, so that because to help you plan for the future. But to be honest, that while you lose out on the surety of having the monthly salary,
Yep.
if you do business. But as a financial planner, if I work with entrepreneurs, I work with freelancers, the benefit that I have of working with them is actually there's no limit to what they can earn.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So there's no
Yeah,
ceiling to how much money could come in.
correct. So basically, even if let's say once they set their goals and everything, and the figure that it needs to be is astronomical,
Yep.
so they can say, okay, how much more I need to earn, and they will actually go and do it. I have this one couple, young couple who are still my clients.
Yep.
So a few years back, I met with them. So they were running a business at that point of time. So okay, they had goals. So by 40, they wanted to reach certain milestones. So after my review, I told them, okay, in order for you to reach those milestones, you need to earn 7 times what they were earning back then.
Right.
They didn't say no.
And they did.
So
Okay.
now they're at about 4 times higher than what they were earning before.
Right. So they're getting to where they are lah.
They are actually, they took that as a challenge instead of saying
Fair
no lah,
enough.
let's reduce
Yeah.
let's reduce our
Dream.
goals.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah,
I mean, like, if you want to set it as goals, and something to strive for, a target, it's good. It's good. It's good. And you know what's the one termakan sikit. At 40 dia nak retire. Aduh, aku dah 44.
yeah, but the thing is, I met them when they were 20
20
something.
something?
So
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
so it's slightly different lah.
Yeah, I know,
So
but
yeah,
kudos to them because not many 20 something once has that future planning already. At 20
yeah,
something, they're like, let me enjoy now. You know what I mean? They
yeah,
don't think about I want to
yeah.
retire at 40. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, actually, no. I was thinking before dinner just now because of the
Right.
session today. Actually, we've met before. I used to do some work in Astro
Really? Yeah.
back in 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So technically that was what 14 years ago. So
Yes.
technically, if we had met then and I was doing what I was doing now,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, you
I
probably
would
have
still have my
more than enough
apartment.
money. Yeah, you still have your apartment.
And I wouldn't owe the bank 100,000 for
Yeah,
apartment I don't have anymore. Well
yeah.
done.
Yeah, although at that time I wasn't doing what I was doing right now lah.
Exactly. You know, I mean, things happen for a reason. Like at least we know. Hey, you guys are so shy to ask questions. I really do not know. Okay. Has the budget 2021 been confirmed? I'm so confused about that.
I haven't heard confirmation yet.
That's fine.
I
Okay, okay.
haven't heard the confirmation. So it passed the first reading. So
Yeah,
and there was no news until then.
fair enough. Okay.
So yeah, so just still waiting. Although in the meantime, there's so many other political news that is happening.
Correct. So I
Yeah.
mean it does interrupt everything, especially when it comes to finances and all that. And like you said, the budget decides the tax relief and everything for
Mm.
the next year. So at the moment it's up in limbo, and if they change anything, your job also gonna change. All financial people, accountant, all also gonna change. But yeah,
Yeah, but that's the thing. So like when actually, do you know that during the budget speech, so everyone that is impacted by the budget speech, so like your tax consultants, your tax agents, those that working in tax departments in large corporations and everything, they actually then have like a general like a team screening where as the speech goes, the speech is made by the finance minister. So then they start like typing the details that is announced and everything.
right,
And by the late that day or early next day, so then the infographics, the summary
correct,
all
correct,
comes up.
correct.
Yeah.
But
So it is true. So like these people, if let's say there are changes, then it would affect.
everybody. So
Yeah, it would
Emma lah.
affect.
So the next time we meet, hopefully we've got some answers.
Hopefully.
because it's scary, dude. Like for me, I give you I'll tell you the truth. 2021, 2020 has been horrible. 2021 is hopeful but scary as well, because there's so many variables that I don't know. So I worry that a lot of people think like me, therefore they do not want to spend and want to save, and then when they save, the economy dies. That's my
Yeah.
mentality. Am I right to be worried about that, or is that
Yeah. Actually, okay. So there was a heated discussion between economists and financial planners sometime last year, if I'm not mistaken. No, sometime
okay?
this year actually.
Okay,
So they were discussing. So because okay, so financial planners are those that then tell you to save money, to put money aside, emergency, so
correct.
conservative. So but economists are saying that if you don't spend money, then the economy is not going to be generated. People will lose jobs, things like that. Okay, so there needs to be a fine balance between the two.
Right.
Okay, so what I would tell my clients, if you still spend what you need to spend, so spend on the food, spend on the groceries, spend on your necessities, needs, and everything. Spend. Okay, but like that's why the reason why I said to have a budget. So then you can also identify. Okay, out of all the luxuries, the wants that I can have, what
Yep.
should I be prioritizing? Okay, what should I still spend some money on? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so during 2020, a lot of people actually started spending on games,
Yeah.
so consoles because they're at home.
You know the crazy part? When you just started spending, my mind PS5, PS5 too.
Correct, because they say okay, we cannot go out.
Yeah.
Right, we cannot go out, so we're gonna be in stuck in the home. So people went. So actually, the prices of like the console actually went up because supply wasn't there,
Yeah.
but the demand actually went
Was
up.
like,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I would still suggest to spend, but just beware of what you're spending on. Just
It
beware of
go
what you're spending on.
it goes
Yeah,
back to what we discussed right before this, which is plan your budget for next year now,
yeah,
so that at least
yeah.
you know how much minimum you need to bring in, how much extra you have to you have to play with. So that extra is called disposable income. Disposable income means you can dispose of it any way you want to. That makes you happy. So
Yeah.
it's not wrong to have disposable income. It's not a bad thing. But it's a bad thing if you have disposable income but no savings.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
dear.
But for let's say if for those that then still have access, so instead
Yeah.
of saving, please invest.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
slight
Yeah.
difference. So saving doesn't really help the economy
Correct.
because
Correct.
because because when you put savings in a savings account, so okay, the money is in the bank, and actually the bank then leverages on it to give out loans
Yes.
to others. But right now, even if people are applying for loans, banks are not approving it. Okay, because they're
Okay.
becoming stricter, and some people
Yeah.
are not applying for loans because they are afraid they will lose their jobs and everything. So then the savings part is actually not helping to generate the economy. Okay,
Right.
So, but when you invest, so then when you put money, I'm not talking about trading. Trading is not
Yeah,
investment.
of course,
Trading
of
is,
course, of course.
yeah, it's basically taking advantage. So when you invest, you put the money, and then the money can then be used by the companies that you invest. It doesn't have to be Bursa listed companies. It can be investing in your friend's business, SME, small medium enterprise,
Right.
uh, those kind of things, so that they can then continue to survive or expand their businesses and everything, continue to pay salaries. So
Right.
those are some of the things that you can do as an individual in order to help spur the economy.
Okay, I know we're about to be 1 hour already. I mean, we're past 1 hour already. Just when you talk about investment, just a last question. Have you heard of fintech companies where, like P2P, fintech? That means you. What do you think of investment in stuff like that?
I think it has a part in your overall investment portfolio.
Right.
Okay, although those kind of investments are higher risk in nature,
Yep.
so you should not do that as your base investment. As
Okay.
so, you
Okay.
only do it once you get to a certain point where you know, okay, if I put money into this investment, even if I lose this money, it doesn't affect me financially.
Okay. Okay. Your line also already. In other words, aku dah penat. Aku nak tidur dah. Okay. 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 Anyway, guys, I hope this helped you again. Once again, Rafiq, thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
If you want to get your health check, your financial health check, please.
Sure.
There, up here, up here. Tu
Yeah,
dia. Ha!
sudah keluar.
Ta-da!
Yes.
Baca.
So basically, yeah. So the financial health check is where in Vantage we're actually introducing this service where you will actually get a one-on-one financial consultation with our licensed financial planners, complete with a financial report at an affordable price, which is 350 ringgit, including SST administration fee. So what do you get out of this is you will actually learn about your overall cash flow and your financial health. You actually know, okay, so all the things that we've been talking about, so you know, okay, where you are, what are your
Yeah.
gaps, what are the
Yeah.
things that you need to work on. Okay,
Yeah.
so from there you can identify, okay, what are the things that you need to work on, so the financial plan for you, and also find out key areas that you need to improve upon. Okay, so you actually get something very detailed in terms of, okay, you can actually identify, okay, these are the gaps, and you can identify, okay, yourself, what are the things that you can do in order to improve it.
So,
Okay,
guys,
so so you can register here, or you can go to our website or any of our social media up there. Yeah, up there. Yeah. Yeah,
you so don't
still need to, yeah, still need to get used to this. Yeah, so any of the social media up there, and get in touch with us, and then we will actually assign you a licensed financial planner to work with you on this.
Awesome. Once again, dude, thank you so much for chatting with me on this. And
Hey,
once again, I'm sure it helped a lot of people, especially
I hope
with
so.
the 50,000 worth of tax relief that a lot of people sometimes forget to get. So hopefully it helps you out. It hopes it'll make you more money and help you out. But once again, Rafiq, thank you so much, and everyone
Hey,
at
thanks,
Wealth Hub,
JJ.
thank you very much, and thank you for
Okay,
watching.
okay, bye everyone. So see you in 2 weeks from now,
Yes, or maybe 3
or
because
maybe 3.
Christmas.
Special Christmas edition.
That's right, maybe.
Okay, bye.
Bye.